Okay, let's talk about me. At the moment, I currently work in a primary school in Manchester city centre, which is quite close to the MEN Arena and the prison, or Strangeways prison. My current role at the moment is a PE coordinator and the Healthy Schools coordinator, which involves quite a lot. I look after everything to do with sport, health, healthy eating, healthy activities. That all comes to me. So where do we start? What clubs do I do? I run rounders on a Monday, football on a Tuesday, netball on a Wednesday, judo on a Thursday, and we do quick cricket on a Friday. During the school time, I do PE lessons from nursery all the way up to year 6, which ranges from doing a lot of different things with the older children. We do quick cricket, rounders, football. With the little ones, we focus on the basic things like throwing, catching, striking a ball, things like that. With the other role, which is the Healthy Schools coordinator, I have to focus on such a bigger, larger area with the teachers talking about making sure things like smoking, drugs, alcohol awareness, all those topics are covered during the school year. In the next few weeks, we'll be starting our anti-bullying campaign, which will be a really big topic in school. It is a national campaign, so it will not just be our school focusing on it, it will be on TV, in the newspapers, online, it'll be everywhere. So the children will get quite a lot of input and may be made aware of this campaign. Things this will involve will be watching videos, children will be making posters, there'll be a lot of drama, they'll be acting out kind of anti-bullying kind of scenes and how to deal with it. Another part of my role is covering teachers' absences. So when we have a lot of teachers on courses, or now at the moment they have to have PPA, where they have to have so much time away from teaching, that's where I come in. Instead of the school wasting money on supply teachers, that's where I'm there as a spare teacher to cover all these lessons. So from working at Cheadle Primary School, before that I went to university at Manchester Metropolitan University. For 3 years I studied youth and community work. Before that I lived in Barnsley. I'm not originally from Manchester. And my 3 years at university, wow, bit of an eye-opener really. Coming from a small village back in South Yorkshire, coming to Manchester for the first time was, like I say, a very big eye-opener. Fantastic, what a great city. And I've not left since. Before I moved to Manchester, I worked as air cabin crew for XL Airways, which were a medium-sized airline. We flew from Manchester, had two different types of aircraft based in Manchester: 737, which is the one most people are familiar with that EasyJet and Ryanair use, and a 757, which is a longer, thinner aircraft. From Manchester we flew to quite a few destinations in Europe and a few more long-haul ones to Egypt and the Caribbean. My favourite destination I flew whilst working for XL Airways was probably Sharm el Sheikh, only because it was one of the longest flight times. We did have to get a stopover, so we'd get a few days in Egypt, so every time we had a Sharm el Sheikh flight. And the training for air cabin crew was probably one of the most intensive training I've been on. It was a 6-week course where some mornings you'd have to be up at 5 and the day wouldn't finish until gone 8 p.m. The favourite part of the course was probably what everyone sees you kind of doing on the train, is when you get to jump, when you inflate the slide, you get to jump down the slide, and then you jump in the water with your life vest on and you get to inflate your life jacket. Everyone does talk about when you get to do the safety demo at the front of the aircraft. I didn't mind that. It's kind of kind of goes in the same thing as what I do now in school, standing in front of 300 children doing an assembly. It's the same kind of thing when you're in front of an aircraft doing the flight demo. Nothing, but I kind of still use the flight demo and the kind of knowledge from when I was cabin crew when I got on a plane now. Every time I go on a plane, I kind of see and check what kind of where the thing should be, if the kind of the fire extinguishers are in date. Always checking my life jackets there. Always when people kind of hear sounds on the aircraft, you can see my partner gets quite scared flying. It's one of them where you look at their faces, you look at the cabin crews. If the cabin crew worried, then I'll get worried, but very rarely do you see them worried, so it's usually nothing to worry about. Before I did cabin crew, the school I went to in Barnsley, well in Royston, was Royston High. A big part of my growing up back in Barnsley was football. Still play football now, but back then I was very good, without kind of being quite arrogant, but a very good goalkeeper. Still I'm a very good goalkeeper. But back then I did play for Barnsley at youth level. Played at Leeds United and Peterborough. At that age as well, I did get the chance whilst at Peterborough to go over to Hong Kong and start a new footballing career over there. But at that age, it was quite a big decision to make. And now looking back, I think I would have chosen to go, but I didn't go. So that was that. And at the moment, I am still playing football. I play for a Manchester team, Village Manchester, and we're doing really well. We're third in the league, and hopefully by the end of the season we'll be higher, and hopefully we'll win the league.